wire fraud and security fraud.
I understand that. So it was the initial lying.
Yeah.
Because you guys changed. When you got all the money, you said, okay, let's actually go do it.
Yeah.
But the initial lying, saying you were developing it when you were just sitting in a studio apartment in Miami on a milk crate, that's where the criminal aspect came in.
We weren't even charged for like the price control, any of that. We were literally just charged for just those two misrepresentations, pretty much, just like the Visa MasterCard and the fake CEO and like the LinkedIn fake Harvard and stuff like that. That was like security fraud, wire fraud, conspiracy to commit both of those things, 4 counts, and that was it. We never, like, it had nothing to do with how realistic the company became or like how legit the company came. They didn't give a shit about any of that. They're not like, that's not their job to care about.
Yeah. And what was interesting in the documentary, they had one of the heads of the investigation, your investigation, on there, and he admitted, he was like, there was thousands of these scams going on. We just needed to make an example of one. And you guys were one of the biggest, or at least the most out there, the most obvious, the most flashy.
Yep.
What were those SEC investigations? Because the SEC is not the criminal division of the FBI. What was their function and what happened with them?
So what happens there is I left the company. He like basically like cut me out, and I basically at this point have like $3 million worth of Centra coins. So this is where like this big fight happens between me and Sorby. I'm like, let's pay this debt. He basically won't pay the debt, and I just basically cash out my Centra coins.
Right.
And I'm like, this company, right? I just left and made my millions. Right?
How much did you sell? That
like $3 million.
Okay, one for one. You had 3 million.
I had $3 million worth of Centra coins. So like that's why my restitution is $3 million. Right? Like that's like what came to my personal account. They like, of course, there was watches bought, this type of thing, and random money that Sorbia hit me off with like throughout the time. But like that's why my restitution is what it is. So I cashed out. I forget like exactly how many tokens it was, but I made $3 million.
So that's just a click of a button.
So yeah, pretty much. But I could only cash out like $50K a day. So basically, I have like $50K a day coming to my bank account for like 2 months straight.